Good evening, wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. Today we are back again on Biafra Television Europe. If this is your first time of joining us on BTV, you are welcome. I am Wanda Jovistar Chichi. Without taking much of our time, we are going to start with IPOB press release. IPOB voices out over deteriorating health condition of Mazi Kanu, demands for his immediate release. This was published on the Biafra Post July 18th, 2024. The global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, ably led by the indomitable leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, once again call for the unconditional release of our leader from DSS solitary confinement over his deteriorating health condition. The Nigerian government is intentionally provoking IPOB by refusing to release our leader, even when the Nigerian and international courts have ordered for his unconditional release. IPOB wishes to reiterate that the life of our leader, Mazi Kanu, is in danger in the solitary confinement of the DSS in Abuja. We have persistently called on the Nigerian government to release our leader, as both international and local law institutions have ordered for his release. Many prominent Nigerians, religious, traditional, and political leaders, including 50 members of the National Assembly, have equally called for his release. But the Tinubu's government has refused to listen to the voice of reason by refusing to release Mazi Kanu, just like his notorious predecessors' governments of Mohamed Buhari. Tinubu's government has continued similar cases of terrorism and treason, charges against two Yoruba activists and a Fulani militia leader. In the case of an Igbo man, unarmed freedom activist Mazi Kanu, this same Tinubu's government have vehemently refused to release him. Mazi Kanu have subsisting local and international judgments that ordered for his immediate release, unlike the other cases discontinued by the federal government without any court judgment. We are enumerating all these injustices to demonstrate that the federal government of Nigeria is internationally provoking the anger of IPOB and Indibo in general. IPOB has maintained a non-violence approach in the Biafran struggle, irrespective of the high-handedness of the Nigerian government against Biafran activists. Mazi Kanu is seriously sick and must be released unconditionally from DSS solitary confinement for him to treat himself before something unpredictable and unimaginable happens to him. Mazi Kanu's health is going down every day under DSS solitary confinement because of the nature of his health issues. IPOB is calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his Attorney General Fatai Fagbemi again to free Mazi Kanu so that he can go and treat himself before it's too late. Mazi Kanu and IPOB members who have been held for decades, who have been held over a decade by the Nigerian state, because of Biafra's self-determination. Mazi Kanu was kidnapped and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria and has been detained in solitary confinement for over 3 years. Although no court in Nigeria has found him guilty, yet he's being persecuted by the tribal bigots government of Nigeria. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, please know that Mazi Kanu is sick and something terrible can happen to him if he is not released. Nothing must happen to him in the DSS, solitary confinement in Abuja. As John F. Kennedy said, those who make peaceful change impossible will make violent change inevitable. Written and signed by Comrade Emma Powerful, IPOB Secretary and Media Publicity, and read by myself, Wada Jovistar Chichi. And right now in the studio, we have our great brothers joining us in the persons of Mazi Lionman and the Mazi Chika Austine. Mazi Lionman, the great man in North America, you are welcome.
Yeah, Mother, greetings from here. I say, may Chukwu my guide us all and protect us as we continue this journey of freedom.
Thank you. Our super analyst in the studio, Mazi Austine Chika. Good evening from here.
Wanda, thank you. Good evening from here also. Uh, I might not really be on visual because it looks my internet is not as strong, but I'm saying good evening from here.
All right. Before we begin to analyze the trending issues or the news, we want to first of all appreciate and celebrate IPOB family in North America for having made a step and having added to the number of the family members of indigenous people of Biafra for succeeding in registering IPOB family as a registered organization and the movement, the freedom fighting movement that is free from arms and people that are determined to actualize the project of freedom for Biafra and Africa as a whole. We say kudos to the national coordinator in the person of Prince Charles Okeke, all the zonal coordinators, and all the members of IPOB in North America. We appreciate you for adding to our number. Mazi Lionman, you people are great. Thank you for doing another wonder.
And thank you, Wanda. Thank you. God bless you.
And that has also added to the good works of the IPOB leadership. You see, IPOB leadership has facilitated so many things for not just Biafrans alone, but for the Igbos. They have made it that our people are hardly being deported from diaspora, except those who are into crime. But once you are not into crime and you seek asylum, IPOB has made it very, very possible that people now get asylum in various countries of the world, even in South Africa, that they hardly give paper. They're also pushing it there to make sure that our people are being given asylum all over the world. In Germany, even our sister Efe is also a testifier to what IPOB has been doing for people. I remember it was not up to 3 weeks ago that my relative who traveled to Thailand, she was calling on me with her family that how would IPOB help them to get asylum. You see, this is what people has been doing, and this is what the leadership, through the various diplomatic moves that they have made, has gained Biafrans and Igbos in general. We are saying kudos also to IPOB leadership. And now we move to today's deal. Now we are going to start by the deteriorating health of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before now, we know that the present IPOB led council, I did not mean Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lead council, no, but the IPOB lead council, who were also the then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lead council for the past 3 years, they have been lamenting and updating Biafrans about the deteriorating health of our great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I remembered Mazi, I remembered Barrister Ejiofor always lamenting how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was getting short of breath, how many times he fainted, how he was diagnosed of hypoclemia that always affect the function of the heart. But the surprising thing there is that whenever he made these updates or posts or reports, it would be so surprising that a colleague, a colleague in the legal team and the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come openly and counter that report that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was okay, that there was nothing wrong with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And this has been happening for the past 3 years. So now what just happened that everything has changed? And not just that, we remember that since the present legal team took over the legal case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we know that they have not been updating Biafrans, and they have not been reporting anything about the health conditions of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But just 2 days before that, we were astonished to see a post on X coming from this same legal led council who has refused, or who has been not updating Biafrans about the health conditions of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, coming up with this very post. I want to read that post. And this post says, yesterday, during our visitation with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we found him ill with shortness of breath, low BP, and general malaise. For this reason, he requested to see his doctor, and we submitted a letter in this regard. Today, the doctor arrived, the DSS, but was denied access to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the touching thing there is that he concluded that post with crying emoji. So, Mazi Lionman, what changed? Is it now that this very lead council is it just coming to their know that Mazi Kanu has been diagnosed with hypoclemia, or that he has been having this shortening of breath and other sicknesses that has been that has contributed to the deteriorating health of Mazi Kanu? What suddenly changed? Mazi Lionman.
Yeah, Mother, thank you very much for this very question. I'm going to answer you and the rest of the world uh, with the little I can explain concern what is playing on ground about Onyendu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. We all recall that, like you said, previous lead counsel, the name of Mazi Jofo, the barrister Ifanye Jofo, who do make this post whenever he visited our leader to notify the public, to notify the Biafrans worldwide, because the man inside the DSS dungeon is not a private man, is not a man of family, but he is a leader of over 80 something million population, as I may say. You see, what played concerning the present lead council, the game they played against the previous ones is funny. Why I said it's funny is this. This is the same notification that was coming from Barrister Ifanye Jofo. In other way, because if Barrister Ifanye Jofo understands who Onyendu is, and the Onyendu is a public father. Let me just put it that way. He's a public father. That we need to tread with care. Whoever that is handling him must notify the public where he belongs. Then the illness of Onyendu being recently reviewed to the public, the same thing that was carried out by former lead counsel of Onyendu, which is still the lead counsel of IPOB today. It is funny when someone that belongs to such field come up openly to counter the post being made by his fellow colleague. I don't know, I cannot explain deeper the reason behind all these things. But if I may tell you with common sense, that what was playing out there was just to take away the capable hands of Onyendu. That one parable I want to say. He said that is one parable we do made in our place. He said, when when a bad woman want to destroy a man, he will first of all separate that man from his family, separate that man from his trusted friends. Then the woman now will not have chance to strike the man, because without separating them, without separating that man from those people, from family, from trusted friend, that man's brain will be intact. The man reasoning will be intact, because those ones that know his character, that know him very well, will be asking him, "Nah, you change, you have changed." Then the man will come back to his senses. So what the present lead counsel did was try to push away the capable hand of Onyendu, because there is a mission. That's what I can explain here. There is a mission handed over to them. But he are beginning to understand the gravity of that particular mission if he carry it successfully. That this mission is not a mission, is not what he thought. When he was outside, he think he can play the game that these politicians handed over to him. But when he have come inside, even those that sent him now have realized that no, this man is not a man to play this kind of game against, because it will cause serious havoc. So what they are doing now, they are slowing. So they are slowing, trying to know what IPOB will do. But I pray to God, nothing happened to him. But if anything happens to him, those who want the consequences to fall on them, they should get prepared. That is the only thing I can say. I can't say more than this. They should get prepared, because this is not the time to joke. We are talking about a man that over 80 million people have loved. And this man is innocent. And they have continued to detain him, even with his illness. They continue to detain him. Well, maybe they have already prepared anyway. So we are waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi Austine, are you there with us? All right. So, Mazi, I may want to or like to further ask, someone that is sick to that extent that he's getting shortness of breath and he faints, and this same person is being denied access to his medical doctors and medical treatments. Mazi, what do you think that Nigerian DSS really wanted from Mazi Nnamdi?
Well, their mission earlier, immediately he was extraordinary reduction. We all can remember their original mission. The original mission was to take his life away. But with this condition presently, that this his situation of health have worsened, and they continue doing what they are doing. You know, one thing about Nigeria government is only government around the globe that I can tell you boldly that I have never seen Nigeria government engage in peace. Nigeria government is government that, let me say, around the world, they love violence, because foreign powers who is advising them so that there will be always crisis within that territory, so that they will be benefiting. You can see Nuhu Ribadu, the recent video that surfaced on air, where begging the white man can then stop the banditry, stop the terrorism in the north. He's begging them, he's begging the white man. The white man video is there. So that's to tell you that there are some Westerners who is behind every Nigerian politician not to do the right thing. But if I were them, they know that this man is innocent. It is time to release this man and allow this man to go. I don't know why Nigeria officials always take advice from Britain, take advice from France, and these are the two major countries in Europe that doesn't want Africa to survive. So when those who are benefiting from you illegally is advising you, they will be advising you based on the interests of their own side. So they look at Mazi Nnamdi as a threat to what they are benefiting from. So they will always be there to tell them, don't mind the pressure, don't mind the pressure, don't mind the pressure. But at the end of the day, what will be, will be. Somebody may ask, what is that is going to be? What is going to be is the total freedom of Biafra. If I were Igbo politicians, they will be serious and they bring that man out safely for their own benefit. Let me just drop it that way. For their own benefit. Somebody may say, what is their own benefit? Because we want to live in our society with the spirit of love, harmony, togetherness. And they should understand that if anything happened to this man, that the youth of Biafra globally will not take it easy with them. And they will not have anywhere to run to. Nowhere is greater than home. They should think this direction and do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you for your submissions. Mazi Chika, Austin is with us, but no, he will be with us on audio. We will listen and we will hear him very well. Mazi Chika, Austin, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here live and direct. I'm here. Sorry for the delay. I was struggling with the internet connection before I did a swap, so I was able to be here. So I'm here live and direct. Mazi Lionman, I want to thank you because I've been extensively listening to you. You made a very wonderful submission. And one other, and of course, I cannot fail to thank our technical director, who is on the background but doing a lot with his magic finger. Maz, I want to thank you for your contribution, who is doing amazingly for us. So I'm here, while I'm here, and I'm good to go.
All right. My next question goes to you. You can see this present lead council who has been trying to play the game that they know how to play best is the same colleague who, after the court judgments or after the previous lead council have succeeded in defeating, making Mazi Kanu to defeat Nigerian government and DSS in their own court of law, and the judgment says that he cannot be tried in any other law court in Nigeria. And the court verdict said that he is discharged and acquitted on October 2023. Now, this present lead counsel went ahead to file the application for release on bail. And as we know that in the month of March, that application was dismissed, and he now turned 60 degrees, asking for the unconditional release of Mazi Kanu, which has been the stand of the previous lead council, the stand of the IPOB leadership, the stand of Ndibo in general, and the stand of IPOB. But so what happened that he could not proceed to for Nigerian government or the Nigerian court to release Mazi Kanu on bail? Why is he now asking for the same thing and going the exact process or procedure that has been laid down by the previous led council?
I want to say thank you once again. Uh, you know, um, I will respond to the question based on areas I've extensively researched on and the areas I've, dedicated my time on, which has to do with statecraft, how states behave. When I talk about state here, I'm talking about countries. I'm not talking about the sub-regions. So I will respond to my years of understanding state behavior, how states behave. We are. It's just that we came up and started talking about Biafra, Mazi Kanu waking up or awakening us into the quest for freedom without us being properly schooled on statecraft or how states behave. I want to tell you this, and it's important every one of us should take it to heart. Countries have a zero emotions. Countries have a zero illusions. Countries face objectivity, they face realism. They have no ground for sentiment. And if we understand that, which unfortunately we have not really digested that fact, but if we understand this fact that countries objectively pursue whatever she wants to pursue and getting every instrument at her disposal to achieve that goal, if that digests in our consciousness and subconsciousness, we will now understand what is actually playing in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is purely state onslaught on any mechanism that we have Mazi Nnamdi Kanu defeat the Nigerian state. I repeat, what is playing out in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a conscious state move. When I talk about state, I repeat, I'm talking about country. Trying to remove any bottleneck, any impediment that will make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to emerge as Nelson Mandela of West Africa. And how will state do that? State cannot contract an Hausa man to do that for them. They cannot contract a Fulani to do that. They have to also look inwardly within the circle of the people and they contract individual or individuals to do that. What Allah is doing is a pure dating game. It might not really be a good one for somebody to it might not really my choice of words or diction might not really be a smooth one to some portals, but the truth remains that if you take chronological analysis, if you take a careful understanding of what Barrister Lloyd have been doing in this case, you don't need Prophet Elijah to wake up from the dead, the land of the dead, and say to you, this is what is happening. Let me say something, or let me point out some reference. Sometimes we are not comfortable to certain facts or certain truth. But the truth remains that the truth you are trying to shy away from hearing today, you will definitely hear it tomorrow or next tomorrow. And it might be so damaging because then you don't have opportunity to take advantage of the available truth. What am I trying to say? I started raising it as a concern that every effort these guys are doing is to reduce Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from a national aspect to an individual. And people thought some of us who were saying this, we are just acting stupidly. You are dealing with a state, or should I say states, because Nigeria is not the only state actor within the gallery. But you're dealing with an entity that even though they don't have best advisors within their territorial integrity, they can go to any part of the world and shop for it. Because our problem have been this mentality of undermining the efficacy of our opponents. You cannot do that. Do that definitely it is at your own detriment. Barrister Lloyd took time to blackmail every active legal representative to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every single one that have gotten Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a winning. He took time to make sure he destroyed the legal front. Just like some persons were also contracted to attack the leadership front, to attack the media front, to attack the security front. All these guys were all contracted to do this dirty job. To you, you might start shouting, why will he do that? Why will somebody identify to rebel against his own people? That is your own. If you argue on that, that is your own business. Countries and those they contract don't think the way you think. They see it as a deal that must be delivered. The question you should ask yourself today is this: the same alloy after the former legal representative
strongly stood on the ground that they have defeated the Nigerian state. If there is anything that must be done, is a political process and they must be activated. And Barrister Lawyer and the group mocked that position and say, forget them, they are talking nonsense. Let us fight for expedient hearing. The same expedient hearing turned out to you know, telling the judge that the judge should invoke a section of the law that guarantees the parties to engage in dialogue, no longer expedient hearing. And people now move their synergy towards political solution a few weeks ago. That noise was made. And today, what we are hearing is that he was not allowed access. Mazi Lionman was not allowed to see the doctor. Are you not telling me that there is a political process or dialogue and such level of handedness is meted on somebody who is negotiating? It has never happened in the world. He quoted Madiba, which is Mandela, and I wrote something telling him that you are giving a wrong narrative. Some persons were not comfortable with that. Some people are even saying you cannot negotiate with somebody that is in chain. You know, there was this notions and all this. But I want people to understand. In as much as except nobody is telling you the truth remains that it is Barrister Law that is pushing for the state to consider the issue of dialogue. And when you send some signal to a state that have committed an international crime, the state will not see you as somebody they are going to dialogue. But when you talk about dialogue, there's a level of equilibrium amongst the parties. The state will reduce you as someone who is begging for to be freed. And in so doing, we start telling you, can you consider amnesty or state pardon? Which invariably means you have committed a crime against the state. So Barrister Lloyd has found himself in a Waterloo. He doesn't know what. Let the truth be said. He doesn't know whether to go left or right. What he's not trying to tell you is to build a sentiment. Mazi Lionman can have fainted 3 times, 4 times. I'm not saying there's no truth on that. But because he has legally found himself in a point of no return, he's not struggling on what to do. So what am I trying to say? First of all, people, we must tell ourselves the truth. And what is the truth? We are fighting a very delicate battle. For those of you who think is a game of make noise and no. It's not issue of make noise. You must be expedient in your calculation. You must be strategic in every move you're making. Because we thought it was noise making, and before we realized they infiltrated every department of the struggle. Thank Okike to the noblemen in the Directorate of State. If not, the struggle would have packed because the period we're supposed to keep critical surveillance, deep articulative move or articulatory moves, we are busy thinking is a noise making. And what do you have today? They attack the media. Thank God for those who withstood. They attack the security unit. Thank God for those who withstood. They attack the legal department. And people think these guys who are doing all these things are playing. It's only you that is playing. You that is
And
undermining.
remember, they also attack the financial aspect of this very movement.
There is no sector of this movement that has not been attacked. So if you look at, if anybody tells you Alloy, what Alloy is trying to do, let me tell you, you, some persons might say, oh, you are saying a lot on this platform, but that is true. I have to say it. Let me tell you, Wada, there's what we call stormation or stormate. After this program, take time to go and research it. A country can put into stormate In Igbo language, it means Gani Hwadema, Ghana. So Ghana moved for years, for centuries. It's a strategy. Countries deploy that strategy. Alloy is moving the struggle into stalemate. We will keep on discussing one topic, decades will come. Sometimes they give you hope of dialogue. Next time he tells you that Onyendu is mistreated, all those things are keeping us mentally busy chasing illusion against the real deal. That is what I have to say.
Mazi, you've made a very awesome submissions, and I say thank you to you. And I still have to, you've touched this question that I wanted to ask, but let me ask it in this manner that this present late council knew quite well that for over years now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been diagnosed to be susceptible to potassium deficiency, which affects the function of heart. And this man who claimed to be the lead counsel with the siblings of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and all the high-handedness by the Nigerian DSS, still have the mind to keep it away from Biafrans. And now he has come to cry that Onyendu is fainting. Is this man, or are these men that like playing to the gallery? Do you think that they are just coming to provoke Biafrans or to provoke the leadership, despite having done everything possible to separate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from IPOB leadership and IPOB? How all of a sudden, over the years, you knew that this man was
Well,
sick and you just came out now to start crying?
well, first of all, let's look at something. Let's look at the anthill of lie that Barrister Loy and his handlers pushed for us. You know, it's not up to just barely some weeks. Barrister Loy tweeted, he used his X account and said, what is on the table now is for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free. That any other thing will be when he's released. I don't know if any of us here got or came
Oh
across that.
yeah.
Now let me tell you something. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not the only freedom fighter or political prisoner that was held and negotiation process activated. Listen and listen very carefully. Julian Assange, who happens to be the founder of WikiLeaks, was held by British government and the US in UK. Do you know immediately the process of dialogue with Julian Assange began between him and the US? The ill treatment against him stopped. The way he was being treated in detention was reviewed. Why? You must treat someone you are planning or you have begun negotiation or dialogue with. You must treat the person fairly. If there is dialogue process, I don't even understand me. So if Barrister Law uses S account to tell us that there is ongoing dialogue. The same person is not telling us that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is undergoing dialogue with those who kidnapped him, is now fainting. That means there is no dialogue. The very moment, the very day you start dialoguing with your opponent, you become conscious. Some certain things are being waived as a precondition for dialoguing. Let me give you another instance. When Joe Biden came into the office of US as a president, he decided to engage Iran on dialogue. Iran gave them a precondition. Precondition is a conditions you must meet before dialogue starts. And they pointed this. Do this, then we know how serious you are. So is Allah telling us that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is undergoing dialogue with Nigeria, and yet the DSS are still using the same hand they are treating him? Even at this moment, he's dialoguing. You can tell a fool that. You can't tell me, Chika Austin. Nobody can tell me that nonsense because it doesn't hold any watershed. I pointed Julian Assange that immediately US began. I'm talking about recent events. Julian Assange happened less than 3 weeks now, if I'm not mistaken. Immediately the process of dialogue was activated. Julian Assange started enjoying some certain privileges. That is how it is. You cannot rule it out. So you cannot tell me that there is ongoing dialogue and you're still subjecting the person you are engaging into extrajudicial treatments. That is nonsense. That is pure nonsense. You can't tell me that. So, what am I trying to say? Somebody is busy, either Barrister Law is confused or he is consciously playing the game he's playing at the detriment of the interests of the Biafran people. Thank you.
Thank you once again. Mazi Lionman, despite the ill treatment given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian state and DSS, do you think that if there is any dialogue going on, do you think that IPOB should not be involved in that dialogue? And who are representing IPOB or Biafrans in this dialogue? Is dialogue done just only by one man? Because I remembered Aburi Accord of January 1967, where it was scheduled, where they met, who and who were involved. Even the National Confab of 2014 that was initiated by Goodluck Jonathan administration. We saw how it went. We knew the people that represented in that 2014 confab. So if really there is a negotiation going on, as this man is portraying to those he think he can deceive, do you think that it is Nigerian government will be dialoguing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu only?
Yeah, one that I must respond this way. Like Mazi Chika Austine have said, there's something he said there. If dialogue is being initiated, there is something they call precondition, which whoever that is affected we began to enjoy. And there's something that the people holding that person will remove in order way to show the sign of they are ready for peace. Like I said it before, let me repeat it again. With the situation we are seeing today over Mazi Kanu by the same present legal team, it shows that there is no dialogue ongoing anywhere. Like what Mazi Chika said is what they are playing. I said it earlier. I said it earlier before this reviewed. I said there is no dialogue going on. Even the 50 lawmakers in Nigeria that volunteered to make that move, the same man who is giving you reports of Mazi Kanu being denied access to his doctor, then went against those people. Because when those people look at them and say, okay, let us add our own effort. So when the move they made will be a very fruitful move, the same man went against it secretly. So you see, what they are playing IPOB is what we have understand. That's why I urge every other Biafrans, especially those who speak on media, to be mindful of what they said outside there, and they should stop being emotional. They should stop being emotional because what Nigeria state are playing to IPOB is a mind game. If you are not a critical thinker, you can never catch up the game they are putting in place. And immediately they want to dish out this game, they will deploy people to go to start inboxing all these our media personnel to test how reasonable they are. But those people, they never knew that they are still testing them. They are still examining them. But that is kind of word you will bring to me. If I read it finish and I study it finish, then I make my internal analysis. I will just laugh over it. I will say, no, I will not talk about this because it's not necessary. Dialogue, we are hearing dialogue here. Dialogue. There is no dialogue going on. The only dialogue that wanted to happen was that dialogue led by the 50 lawmakers. And they have, I'm going to tell you today, they have stopped them. They have stopped them. But they will not come out of media to tell you they have stopped them. Because that shows, because those people, they thought that people who wanted Mazi Kanu out sincerely wanted him out. But those people now understand that it's a game. Okay. They relax. Because this is government where they are benefiting from. So there must be a limit of their persistence to over such issue, and which they have received the intel and they have received the, may I call it, course, and they have relaxed. What the present legal team led by Ejimako, what they are doing is to bring IPOB down. The target, I said it here, I think last 2 weeks, I said the target is very simple. We must destroy IPOB. But there's one thing he is not remembering. That's my area of concern. Are you trying to destroy IPOB? IPOB is Mazi Kanu. Mazi Kanu is IPOB. He has forgot this thing. So trying to destroy IPOB simply means systematically trying to destroy Mazi Kanu. But I don't know if he is reasoning towards that direction. So maybe if you come across today's broadcast on the BTV, maybe this broadcast will help him to recall back his brain. Because the mission they handed over to him and he agreed to carry it out is destroy IPOB. we will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that IPOB, he have never succeeded in destroying it. Rather, he have made IPOB more stronger. So is it not the time he understand that, no, what I am doing, trying to destroy IPOB, is exactly what is holding this man there. Until he understand this simple fact and they remove his hand, because a man they contracted against a foundation, and the leader of the foundation is the man is the same person that the same man they contracted is representing. One, I may tell you that is a difficult matter. If at all there will be any release, the same people can never release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under the care or under the caretaker of such person. I don't want to, let me not stop mentioning that name here. They will not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under his caretaker. Never.
And
Because
Mazi, do you think that reducing an international case and to an national case to just one man versus Nigerian state, do you think that that can make them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu?
No, that is the area they are going to entangle him more. That is the area they are going to detain him more. Do you understand me? That is what I'm telling you. That's the game he is playing. But many people don't understand. He tried to remove him from public figure, to bring him to family, to reduce him to family figure. That is what he has been trying to do. But he is not finding it easy. It is IPOB. Whenever they have tried it, they have already succeeded in bringing him to that level. But IPOB carry him back to that level. So this is where they are finding it difficult. This is where they are finding it difficult. If when they have done that, IPOB remove their hands from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be nobody today. And they will have access to him to do him whatever they want to do to him.
Thank you so much. Mazi Chika, Austine, I don't know if it is laid in your mind the type of picture that these siblings and the present elite council are painting. Do you think that what they're trying to paint to the international community and to IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because these people are agendists, do you think that they want to make the picture to look like IPOB has abandoned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will paint the picture to him that, look, IPOB has rejected you. They are no longer talking about you. They have moved on. They no longer care about you. Why they try to put it to Biafran to see it that, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has compromised. Do you think that this is one of the agendas of these agencies?
Okay, Wanda, thank you. Well, there is a strong reason why I like bringing in references when I speak, because it is important to understand that whatever you're seeing today has once in life happened. That also not exclusive to the case of Biafra, the case of Mazi Nnamdi. It has happened elsewhere. It has happened all over the world. The problem we keep on having as a people is that we want to handle issues without also asking questions. When this thing happened in social area, what happened? It might not really be an absolute usage of same method because environment differs. But you can look at and say, oh, this thing that happened here was somehow similar to what is happening here. This thing that happened in the same continent was also similar or is also similar with what is happening here. Then you can now make what we call comparative analysis. From your comparing, making analysis by comparing, you can now know a better formula to solve your problem. Let me tell you, no country in this world, I'm going to repeat this statement I want to make 3 times so that I can sink in us. No country in this world fears an individual. No country in this world fears an individual. I repeat again, no country in this world fears an individual. What countries fear is the movement the individual leads. And when they target the individual, they target individual in order to destroy the movement, not even to destroy the individual, because they know that the power of an individual or the individual fellow lies on the multitude he commands. Now, let me give you 3 recent instances so you understand for better portraying of what I'm saying. You know, Donald Trump, the government of US is not afraid of Donald Trump. The government of US is only afraid of MAGA movement. You know, MAGA movement, Make American Great movement, where you have millions of subscribers, where you have millions of followers. It is that movement that the government of US wants to disband, wants to proscribe if possible, not Donald Trump. And any day Donald Trump as an individual detaches himself away from that MAGA, the government of US will get rid of him overnight, less than 24 hours, because he's nobody. But the MAGA movement is what the US government is having sleepless night over. That is what the deep state is worried of, not Donald Trump or the Trump family name. Nobody is scared of any family name. If you say it is right, immediately the Nigerian government, the military government of Nigeria, made Awolowo to act, make a costly mistake by provoking the Christians. You remember the story? It might be true or not, where he sunk Bibles in the Atlantic Ocean, and the statement he made, he can do without evil. Awolowo was provoked, and immediately Awolowo made those statements or acted those costly moves. The level of his support in certain quarters depreciated. In fact, fizzled out. The Easterners withdrew their support. The Christians withdrew their support on Awolowo, and Awolowo became vulnerable. The almighty name Awolowo was finished overnight. Most of us might not have been an adult during Awolowo era, but Awolowo, the name, sorry, not Awolowo, the name Abiola, sorry, the name Abiola was so strong a name. But immediately they pushed him into making some certain costly acts and ways, like the story that Abiola sunk Bible in the Atlantic, the story that he said he can do without Igbo. He began to lose, so he began to lose his support base. And then the government, there's something we don't understand. Every day there's what we call security briefing. All over the country, it happens like that all over the world. They,
All right. As okay, I think he's back.
okay, I said there's something that is called security briefing every day. A, s- a sitting president is being informed about how popular or powerful an individual is. The Secret Service will go and tell him, you see this man, his support base is dwindling, is fading away. You see this man, his support base is still intact. You see this one. These are part of the brief that is being done on daily basis. So Abiola, for instance, this is for reference purpose. I'm not digressing. Abiola was lured into making that mistake, and he thought his family name Abiola, will save him. They finished him overnight. You see, we are talking about history. History is devoid of sentiment. When you discuss history, you face facts, not talking so that somebody will be comfortable. I want to speak so that somebody someone's illusion should be pampered. That is nonsense. And when they succeeded in making Abiola into that mess, they destroyed him overnight. And today, Abiola is gone and gone. Donald Trump was targeted not because of him as an individual, not because of Trump family. Trump family can be crushed overnight. It's because of the MAGA movement. Julian Assange, most of us do not know. Do you know that US reached a compromise with Julian Assange? Do you know one of the most demand the United States told Julian Assange? Do you know?
Yeah.
US government told Julian Assange to disband WikiLeaks. That is the first condition. They say, you see this movement that makes you great, disband it. And the man said, I can compromise in other conditions, but for me to disband the movement WikiLeaks, I will not do it. In the case of Mazi Kanu, look at what is going on. These contracted infiltrators are being hired to provoke IPOB leadership, so that IPOB leadership will now abandon Mazi Kanu. Then they go to Mazi Kanu, they say these people are no longer talking about you on radio. You have forgotten, they have recycle you. So that Mazi Kanu, when he comes out or appears in court, he will start attacking the leadership. Start telling them I'm disappointed in you people. Then this ones, the leadership will act of provocation and say, okay, do your thing. And government is every day studying. There is a chart where they know the status of relationship between IPOB and Mazi Kanu. They study the chart on daily basis. When it's obvious to them that it has gone beyond the bar, they said, even though we destroy him today, nobody will react. But these people have abandoned him. Courtesy of the actions his siblings and the barrister law is taking. So if you think they are doing that unknowingly or out of carelessness, you're naive. And in the other way around, there's also a conspiracy of let us provoke the leadership so that the leadership will abandon Mazi Kanu. Then Mazi Kanu can say, okay, Nigerian government, bring anything you want on table, I will sign it. Hence, this one have abandoned me. Then when he comes out tomorrow, his brothers will say, hey, he abandoned the project because we disappointed him first. But without looking at the processes that were instigated to make sure the relationship between the leadership and the leader is destroyed. What we are talking here, of course, is not issue that you should expect most of us to understand. Some people are mentally downgraded to understand what we are talking about. All they get happy with is when people start talking stupid things that are irrelevant. Of course, it makes people like us to be sick because we are talking of a hybrid mental manipulation. And other people are busy talking rubbish, thinking that is when you make noise, you get results. As those of them shouting water, 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 where are they today? Most of them have realized they were fooled. Because this is the issue of strategic planning. Not the issue of you come, you talk nonsense, you open your mouth and talk like a fool without any constructive engagement. So that is what is going on. The reason why we must discuss these issues is because As we are speaking, the state and their agents are watching this platform. They want to know how intelligent you are, how knowledgeable you are. Are you aware of what is happening? As they finish listening to this program, they have to go to their drawing board and review and say, you see, these people seem to be on the know. And when we come here and start talking, like in Dara, they go and say, don't mind them. They're very, very unserious and not strategic. What disturbs a state actor is how strategic you are, not how moutish you are. Now, I think I can allow Mazi to speak.
Mazi, do you have something to add?
Yes, I have a little bit something to add on what Mazi Chika have already released here. You see, this is what I always said concerning Biafrans. Sometimes I used to make a post of people should know that IPOB movement is stage by stage, level by level. The stage we are now is not the stage to go on media or come, start making noise, talking out of point, because they are watching you. The people who are staging these games are watching you. Depending how you understand it, we make it more difficult for them to accomplish their game. If you understand them, they will abandon that particular game, and another method of game will be dish out for them to play because they have played so many games. So this is another game now they are playing, and they are playing it with what? Somebody who have claimed that he will release Mazi Kanu. This is the where Biafrans should be very, very careful. I have already told Biafrans on my live broadcast, I've told them that this man you are saying he can go. Biafran should write it somewhere. He can never. He don't have the capacity, and he don't have the temperament. He lack the jurisdiction to achieve what he want to achieve. Already, we should also know that this man have been discharged and acquitted. The case have been won by the IPOB legal team. So what he's trying to play is the game handed over to him. Many people are not understanding this angle. We are not thinking towards this angle. He's on the game. And then now that we have known that he's on the game, the only thing we have to do is to watch him, monitor him. Now that he understands that the people already know that he's playing the game, I think now he will not find it more easier. But when all of us keep on fooling ourselves, I say, okay, let us wait for him now. He said his dialogue. He said is this. That is not his. That is not his aim. His aim is to separate this man, pressurize this man, frustrate the man, for the man to deny what is sustaining him. Because IPOB is what is keeping Mazi Kanu today. Then, sorry, there is a question you asked about if there is any discussion or any negotiation going on. Are they going to discuss it with Mazi Kanu that's already in detention or the IPOB leadership? This is the area Biafran should be asking. You say that is initiative of dialogue or negotiation. Who are you negotiating with? I have asked this question before. Because in a law, you don't negotiate with the man on that chair. You negotiate with the family of the man that is on that chair. Then now, when they come to stage to bring that man to join the family to negotiate, he must lose that chair first. Because it is a highly embarrassing and may I call it unprofessional to come with a man on that chair in discussion. No. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So if there is any dialogue going on, leadership could have tell that to Biafrans. Oh, we have engaged, they have called us, and we have given them condition where we will meet. Because they may not meet in Nigeria. It is only when they are ready for dialogue, we will see the sign. The leadership will receive the notification. Okay, where do you want us to meet to discuss about peace or about whatever we want to discuss? They will say, okay, let us meet in one African country, or let us meet in one American continent country. Let us meet in Europe, or let us meet in Asia. It depends on where the leadership will choose. Then they will come there, and the negotiation will start. Mazi Nnamdi had nothing to discuss with them. It is the IPOB leadership that will discuss everything discussable, then and hand over the message to Mazi Nnamdi. Look at the level of discussion we have gotten here. Are you okay with this? Then he will reply to them, yes or no. If it is not okay with him, they will go back to the table again. Discussion continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. I hope Biafrans are listening, and those who cherish the words of wisdom will be learning. Because sometimes I used to be surprised at what some people who suppose or who call themselves freedom fighters, who has been speaking on social media, the madness that they've involved themselves into, and they have clothed themselves with garments of licentious behavior that made everybody to see them as just content creators. Someone, our people will say, na onye ụlọ ya na-agba ọkụ anara achị oke. Again, it is only a madman that can build a house, go out, look at the house, come back to destroy it. It can only be done by a madman. If these unruly people who have chosen to become insubordinate to the highest body of this movement, if they can learn from the ways of wise men in the studio like you today, I believe they will adjust themselves and do better they are doing today. Because when you look at the behavior of these people, you will just conclude that these men has been bought over. That is why they want to tear down the leadership. They are now in the forefront championing it, that what has IPOB done to bring Mazi Nnamdi out? What are they doing? What this? What that? When they themselves have been destroying all the efforts made by this very leadership. And I had someone who said that these people that continually asking these questions, what has the leadership done? What is what? He said that Merok set himself ablaze for the sake of Biafra freedom. You yourself that is trying to bring down this highest body of this movement, you that try to destroy it, you that try to tell the world that Mazi Nnamdi has abandoned the struggle, the leadership is this, the leadership is... You as an individual, what is your own contribution apart from sitting down with your camera just on the ring light and begin to play voices, begin to, I mean, men, these men, they are not even ashamed of what they say and what they do as men. And you begin to wonder, are these men? Are these people, are they really men? Are they for this struggle at all? Because there is something that when someone is doing, you that is sitting at the back will conclude that I am not on the same rail with this very person. And I believe that such persons are learning. While that is by the way, and that takes us to Kenya. Mazi Austine, I hope you're still listening. Mazi Austine, are you out or are you there? All right. Thank you so much for being there. Now, for weeks now, we saw how much protest has been rocking the country, Kenya, and in Nairobi, we saw how the protesters have succeeded in breaking into the parliament, destroying government properties, and we saw the revenge or the retaliation of the police firing tear gas, shooting rubber arms and other firearms. And not just that they were doing that, but they were bundling protesters, they were beating them, they were taking them to unknown places, detaining them, asking them who was funding and who was planning, or who planned or who initiated the protest. We see, you know, what how these people are coming against the protesters, what they are doing to them. And the Mazi Austin, can you liken this protest going on in Kenya to what happened in Nigeria when the during the answer hashtag answer protest in 2020? Okay, Mazi
No
Lionman.
mistake about what
Okay,
ESA,
let's see if he's coming back.
yeah. Make no mistake of what ESAS represented. ESAS was a demonstration for justice, for respect for human rights. But because Buhari was the president, the Northerners said it's not worth identifying with. In fact, they went as far as saying it was an IPOB agenda. And today, based on that precedent, hunger is destroying them. Unemployment, companies are shutting down. People are being thrown on the street. Foreign investors packing massively as if something terrible is happening in Nigeria. Everybody is just, without notice, shutting down their investment and running away. And the Northerners say, no, we have to protest. Oh, we have to protest. Then how do you expect this, a Southern man to interpret it? So these are two different things. In Kenya, the people are informed. They know what they want. They pursued it and they got results. In Nigeria, those who are so backward and primitive, without understanding that when you build a wrong precedence, you will live to suffer it. They are struggling today to get a national consensus on the protest. And Southeast say they are not interested. Of course, because when Southeast was demanding that the police should be civil, the Yoruba land was also demanding. The South was also demanding because the police brutality tend to be more in the South. The Northerners were saying there was nothing like police brutality. The police was doing wonderfully well. And today, it is their turn. So I have no issue with protest because it is a democratic thing to do. But for anybody to think what he condemned yesterday is suitable today, that person is wrong. That is why you must be careful with precedents you are building, because definitely you must be strongly referenced. You know, in Nigeria, when you're trying to reference people or point people towards the actions of their yesterday, they say you're being harsh, you're judging us harshly. But tell me why you will not be judged harshly. Because if you don't relate with my yesterday, you cannot understand me today. And if you don't understand my today, invariably you will make a mistake in understanding me tomorrow. So that is all I have to say.
Thank you. Mazi Lionman, you have any contribution to make, or do I go ahead with my questions?
You can go ahead with the question.
Okay, you have to bear with me because I still have another question for Mazi Austine. Mazi, you know, this protest in Kenya initially was all about financial bill, all about looters, the corruption of the government officials. But as you can see from this week, that the protest against financial bill and corruption has been gradually or snowballed into Ruto must go. And we had Ruto now came out saying that he first of all banned protests in Nairobi and went ahead to say that this protest is about being hijacked by by bandits, that there are bandits who are coming to infiltrate this very protest. So, Mazi Chika Austin, I mean, why do you think that suddenly, just like Buhari said during hashtag NSAS protest, that the protest has been infiltrated, it has been hijacked? Do you think, or are you seeing this Kenya protest going the way the NSAS protests went to Nigeria by being infiltrated and being hijacked by the organized bandits.
Okay, Wanda, if you expect me to give a strong position on that, perhaps you are now seeing me as an intelligent officer, or one that was with the National Security of Advisor Office, or should I say, a member of the M branch. Perhaps that is what you're seeing me, and I think it's far from the reality because I'm not one of them. But historically speaking, so I cannot really give a strong position whether it's going to snowball to that or not because it's purely a security matter to discuss that. And for somebody to discuss or make a strong prediction on that, that means that person should be speaking from the angle of having access to sensitive intelligence, intelligence reports or materials. But nevertheless, I think I will respond to that based on historical and from a historical perspective. From a historical perspective, I will respond to that. One thing with the protest is this: you can know when it started, but you can't know how it's gonna end or when it's gonna end. That is what it is. That is what it is all over the world. The January 6th that happened in Capitol, remember the one that happened in Capitol, people were asking for election to be reviewed. Remember, along the line, somehow, I'm talking about January 6th that happened in the US, along the line, it was hijacked. And we knew people as at then that planted infiltrators in the midst in order to give that protest a black name. That is how governments operate all over the world. When there is a genuine cause, they try to infiltrate, they try to cause mayhem, they try to cause loss of lives and properties in order to have reason to use excessive force on the peaceful protesters. So if that happens in Nigeria, it's not a new thing. We have seen where the likes of Showere went for protest. Deji, the one that you know is a barrister today. We have seen where they went to protest in Abuja. Before you know, miscreants were unleashed. That happened during Buhari's time. And remember, the same Buhari was an APC president. He was the president of APC extraction. And you also have the same APC. So don't be surprised the same day of protest, you will see Boko Haram, you will see bandits attacking and shooting innocent protesters. This is still APC. They know how to do it. Tinubu was in Lagos when peaceful NSAS protest was turned to a death zone. And in some quarters, it was alleged that Tinubu had hand in the death of innocent NSAS protesters. And Tinubu is the president today. Those who masterminded that act in Lagos are still actively in government. So it is normal. It is normal to predict. One cannot be far from the truth if you say they are going to turn the whole thing into a bloodbath. But let me say this because it's very, very important we say this. If such a thing happens, it might not really go down well like NSAS because of the mindset of the people of southern Nigeria and the northern Nigeria. If there's going to be killings of northerners, remember northern Nigeria is just a hashing bag for bandits. The Almajiris are just tools to be used if they so desire. So these are some of the things we must look into and understand the trajectory of the whole thing. That is all I have to say.
Thank you so much. I would have loved us to continue because we have lots and lots of questions to ask and lots of uh, things to analyze. But we can't just finish it today because we have other days ahead. I think we will start rounding up here so that on Sunday we will come back on Sunday to continue from where we stop. Mazi Lionman, before Mazi Austine will come back to summarize his submissions, can you summarize your submission so that we can start winding up?
Okay, well, God bless you, and for what we have seen today, or what we have said so far, and the level of or let me say, the scenario we are right now in this struggle. The only thing I urge Biafrans is just to be sensitive and be sensible as well. At the same time, be focused. And I urge those who are coming on media to stop being childish on media. This is time to play a matured man game, because the stage we have crossed the Rubicon, and we have no back to go. Everybody should understand that we have no back to go. What we have only to go is front. And I strongly believe that things is about to happen. And all eyes should be on this very present legal team representing Mazi Kanu. We should fix our eyes on them. We should lay a secret investigation about them. We should be asking people questions concerning them and the activities, because we wouldn't want that kind of. Remember what I posted? I said recently, this syndrome of negotiation for release of Mazi Kanu, it may be opposite. They are telling you maybe this is the time when it is time to release Mazi Kanu. Maybe they may even saying it is time to kill him. We should understand. We should understand the game they are playing. They say, this is time to kill him, but they are weighing the strength of IPOB. They are weighing the intelligence of IPOB. So sometimes when they come to media and see some of our people being misbehaving on media, they say, these people, they are still naive on what we are about to do. But when they come and understand that these people, they are ahead of them, knowing where the game they are playing, knowing where this thing is leading to, and you tell them where their bus stop is going to be, this will help them to restrain themselves again. And so these people, they have caught us, so they know what we are doing. So this is not the time to speak anyhow. This is not the time to listen to gossip. And I urge Biafrans to desist from listening to gossip. Freedom fighting is not about gossiping. We are not content creators. For those who want to create, like me, if I want to enjoy content, I know the pages to go. All those our MCs in Nigeria, all those this, I go to their page, I laugh. But they wouldn't expect a freedom fighter to come on their page, behaving the same way the content creators behave. This is childish to me. So I urge them to adjust, and we shall see where we are, or where we are heading to. Thank you.
A well done submission. Mazi Chika Austine, can you give your friends and viewers all over the world your final submission?
Well, there is no other submission I have than to tell us we have to encourage ourselves by ourselves. No one can do that for us. Either we encourage ourselves or we discourage ourselves. There's no two ways about it. The journey is not an easy journey, but talking about a positive end is achievable. That is all I have to say.
Thank you so much, our great and wonderful analyst. Thank you, wonderful people of Biafrans. Thank you, all of us who has been standing with the leadership of IPOB and who has keep on keeping on and who has also continually believing in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and in no way we would allow the agendists to achieve their agenda. Once again, we appreciate Mazi Lionman, the Lioness, and all the members of IPOB in North America with their national leader or national coordinator of North America by making IPOB families and IPOB members in North America to add to the number of IPOB by succeeding in registering and making IPOB a legal movement in North America. We thank you so much, and we urge other members, if there is any other country that IPOB has not been registered, because we know that we are across the globe. Let us also try to make sure that IPOB family is registered and recognized in such countries. Thank you, our wonderful viewers. Thanks to the leadership of IPOB, despite all the back and forth, they have been standing, they have raised their heads so high that they can never be intimidated, and they can never dump this struggle, and they can never forsake Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Thank you, all media frontiers who has been doing the needful, and not those who have chosen to make themselves object of caricature. I want to remind such individuals that the IPOB leadership has given an ultimatum that anybody in such with such licentious behavior should first of all desist from or take away IPOB, the word IPOB from your name, and then go ahead and become whatever you want to become, because you have your life to live, you have your choice to make. Nobody is compelling you, but stop making IPOB and IPOB leadership an object of caricature before the world and before the international communities. That is what I have to say this evening. And from here, I am saying to great listeners, good night.